Hi YouTube. So you want to start saving and investing, and you want to know what to do and how to get started. Well, that is what this video is about. I received a note from a subscriber, and it really made me stop to think about my savings and my future investments. I have no idea about investments, but I'm determined to learn. And if I wouldn't mind doing a video on investments without having to pay someone to do it for me. So let's get into it. Let's do that. And I did a little shorthand there just so it would be a little bit easier to go through it. First things first. I'm going to be going through a brokerage account. So I want to try to explain what a broker is and then what a custodian is. So a broker is someone that actually does trades for you. They buy and sell the stocks, the bonds, the exchange traded funds. And so that is what a broker is. A custodian is the plan that actually holds the funds, that holds your money. They run plans for retirement companies. So let's say if you're working for an employer and your 401k, which is in a retirement account, is held by a custodian. And that custodian can also be a broker. So the broker, again, buys and trades. Example of a broker is Fidelity. You can buy and sell stocks through Fidelity. You can buy mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, and they are also, again, a custodian because they manage plans and they manage retail investors' money as well. Today we're going to go through the broker and the custodian of Vanguard. And the reason why we're doing them is because Vanguard typically has very low fees, and I don't really want to get into the platforms that do a bit more of the trading. And so I just thought we would start with someone who's looking and meet the needs of what they're actually looking to do. They want to start investing and they want to start saving and learning about investing for themselves. Now, the custodian holds a number of different products. One, again, is a brokerage where a brokerage account really is like an investment account that you do outside of retirement. That's the one we're going to focus on today. But there also is, within that account, if you do not have an employer that has a retirement plan, you can do investing yourself in an IRA or a Roth IRA. An IRA is an individual retirement account. And a Roth IRA is also an individual retirement account. The only difference is the tax law on the two of them. Now, an IRA that is funded through a custodian that is outside of an employer, you can still get the tax benefit if you do the traditional IRA. The only difference is you're not going to see the tax benefit as you put the money in there. You're going to see it when you go to do your taxes later on. So that's a difference. When you are doing it directly from your paycheck, they take the tax savings money that you would do if you were doing a traditional IRA, which is a pre-tax investing in your retirement. But when you're doing through a custodian and you're doing it on your own, you do get the tax benefit, but it's not going to come to you until tax time. So I just wanted to explain that little difference. So we went through the brokerage account and what a custodian is. And so then let's just go open an account. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go to Fidelity. We're going to go to investors.vanguard.com. And this process can probably take 5 to 10 minutes to open an account if you don't already have an account. So I have Vanguard opened up here. And we are going to choose the little button here on the right. Open an account. If you don't already have a Vanguard account, then you can open one here. I already have a login, is for those who already opened one. For those who have not, you choose I am new to Vanguard and you hit sign up. From here, you have different options. You have open a new account with money from your bank. That's the step we're going to do for an individual investor. When you're putting money in a brokerage account, you can use this money. There is no tax penalty on taking your money. There isn't a term or say, geez, you put that money in last week. You can't have it back until 5 years from now or until you retire. No, that's not what a brokerage account is. You can also do an employer rollover plan, which is a 401k. If you leave an employer and you want to roll over your plan and you don't want to leave it in the employer, or some employers don't allow if the amount within your 401k is not over a specific limit. Certain employers will not allow you to leave your plan over there. So you can either roll that over to your new employer, or you can roll it over to a custodian like Vanguard, like Fidelity, and have your money managed by them. So that itself is an option as well. And once you have an account, if you have an account and let's say you leave your employer, you can still choose this option afterwards. Just because we're opening with the intentions of a brokerage account today does not necessarily mean that you cannot use the other features on the custodian. The next one is transfer investments from another firm. So this would be like if you were going to transfer money from from Fidelity to Vanguard, from Schwab to Vanguard, and investments like that. Like I believe in Robinhood or E-Trade. I'm forgetting what E-Trade is now called, but I think that is managed by, I don't know if it's Morgan Stanley or something. Now E-Trade is not. E-Trade is more like a trading platform tool. So we're not going into that one today. And then you can inherit a Vanguard account. So let's say if someone passes away and they have a beneficiary on the account, and that person can then go in and go into that account and manage that money. And then I guess transfer it over to themselves as well. I imagine there's an option to do that. And then there's take full control of my UTMA account, which is not an option that we're doing today. I'm not going to even go into that. Okay, so open an account with money from my bank is the option that you would want to choose. And then you would just hit continue. And there's also a 3-minute and 27-second video that you could actually watch, and it will go through the process, and it's going to ask you the questions that it's going to walk you through what's going to happen. Basically, there's no fee to open an account. To open an account with Vanguard, including with Fidelity as well, and Schwab, there's no fee to open it. But what you're going to be doing is to open an account, you are going to be sending money in from your own bank account, and you can use a checking account for this. And you would transfer money from one account to fund the other, and then it would sit in a holding account. And then once you have that holding account, it's the same. It could then be used for a sort of like a money market account, and from there you would then use that funds to buy stocks, bonds, index funds, which Fidelity is really known for. And in this case, index funds are a really, really low expense ratio thing to do. But once you open the account, then the choices of what to actually buy within the account will be what you would do next. You're going to follow through the process. It's going to you're going to follow, and you're going to choose invest on my own, because this is what this subscriber wanted, and it's going to ask you to select account. The type of account you're going to choose is a brokerage account in this particular case. And then there's 2 questions. It's going to say, is it an individual account or is it a joint account? Individual is as it sounds, and joint is if, let's say, you and your partner were going to be opening an account together, and this would be legally binding account. So I don't think you could just open an account with anyone. It would be someone, I believe it would be like a spouse. So once you complete the account type, which again in this case, you're going to choose we're not going to choose retirement in this case. We're general investing and savings. And you're going to answer the questions about that. And then you're going to start to fill in. It'll even want to understand your investment goals, but you're doing it for yourself. And then there you would choose the individual, or yourself, or a joint if you were going with joint. And then you would choose select individual brokerage account. You're going to go in and highlight the questions and open an account. It's going to make you create a username and a password that only you should know. And then you're going to go in and add some personal information, like your name, your address, your social security card. If you have a driver's license, you'd be entering that information. If you have an employer, you'd be entering that information. And then it's going to questions that you could change anywhere in the future, like what is your income, what are you looking to do with the account, and you can answer those questions based on the need of what you're looking to do at the time. And in this case, again, it would be investing. It would be you put your income in, and that doesn't even really matter because your income doesn't matter with regards to this. They just want to know those kind of questions so if they could potentially sell you a product in the future, I believe. Then you put the information in, you fund it with the bank account, you get your routing number, you could look at a check, you get your routing number, and you get your checking account number, you link an account, you put some money in. Then that money goes into a sort of like a holding account. Once they confirm the money went in, and I think they may even put like a couple of cents in your bank to confirm it actually is you and vice versa, or you just transfer the money in. I'm forgetting which way. It's been a while. Anyway, watch the video, do the steps, fund the account. Even if you're putting something as simple as $100 in, you can do that. When it comes to, once the account is funded, there are certain limitations when it comes to investing in specific stocks and bonds. I believe that Fidelity allows you to do fractional shares. I don't know if Vanguard does. I mostly use Vanguard for index investing, money market investing, managing prior 401k, rollover Roth, and a prior 401k. But first, primarily when I first opened it, it was purely a brokerage account, which again is money that you already pay taxes on, that is almost like instead of putting it in a bank account, this is what you're going to be using for investments and growth. And once you put some money in the account, whether it be 100, 150, 2,000, whatever amount that you're putting in, that would be the point after it clears that you would then go look at individual investment choices. So the choices would be bonds, which are typically you're going to make less money on bonds. So bond investing is, when they say 40-60, bond is almost like a cash instrument, but there's risk associated with bonds. So money market is pure cash. You don't lose it. Then there's bonds, but there's all different types of bonds. So there's bonds where it's a loan instrument that is made to, let's say, a company, and then the company pays a fee. So like if Apple was trying to raise money, they would issue a bond. That bond would go and can be bought on the market. And so you could also buy bonds in funds themselves. And then the next would be exchange traded funds, and those would be specific funds that you then trade and buy on the Fidelity or the Vanguard site, whichever one you're opening. And then there's the index funds, follow a specific index. So those are things like, it really depends on the index that it's following, but I'll use a common one like the Vanguard. If you're doing a 500 index, the 500 index would be specifically like the top 500 companies that make up the index, and you're getting a little portion and piece of all the little companies within that index. Index funds typically outperform the market when it comes to like the individual investor buying particular stocks, because you could buy an indexes like includes a whole bunch of stocks versus an individual stock. So instead of just buying Apple, you'd be buying Apple and Facebook and Netflix and Tesla, and so think of all the top 500 companies in the world, and the Pepsi and so on and so forth within that fund, and the Boeings, and I would imagine would be in there as well, and the AT&T. So that would be what would be in the 500 index. But first, again, open the account, get started, and then we can talk about funds on the next video. Once you get started, after you put the money in, there are going to be some funds that have a minimum on the amount that you can actually open. But if you do what I did when I first started out, is I just had regular automatic investments coming out of my paycheck, going into a specific bank account. And then I had Vanguard take the money from that bank account that was linked to that bank account. And then I bought like 150, and I still, do this, $150 a month in each one of my particular index funds that I would buy. So from my paycheck, I have $600 coming out every paycheck I get paid, and then it gets funneled into a little account. Each one of these particular, I think I have it going into a few of them, and then month in and month out. And that's how I was able to get around the minimums, is if you're doing automatic every month investing, I believe they let you get around the minimums. I'm over the minimums now, so it's not something that I know for sure, but I'm pretty positive when it comes to index investing, they let you get around the amount of the minimums on to buy the fund if you're doing month in, month out investing. But again, sign up for the account, open up the account, create a password, create a username, go in, link some money from your account. And you don't have to even link it up from the start. You can open up the account and get ready, even if you're not ready to link money to it immediately. But you can open up an account so that you're ready to do these things when you're at that step. I hope this was helpful. You can go on to the Vanguard account as well, and you can actually go and watch the video, and they will explain it probably a little bit better than I did. But the whole process probably takes less time than this entire video. So hope that was helpful, and hit me up in the comments if you have any more questions. I have a lot of light shining on me because it's dark and it's late and I worked. So I hope everyone's having a great night, and I will catch you on the next one.